Mitchell.
I mean, I would record that and use that everywhere. How about it once again, ladies and gentlemen, Christina Mitchell.
Spectacular, man. She is so talented.
From back the Arizona Speedway days.
Yes.
You know, she would deliver the anthem usually once or twice out there, and I never tire of hearing her version of the Star Spangled Banner. That's outstanding. Well, we're ready to go racing here at FK Rodden's Vado Speedway Park. And first on the agenda, Ben, is going to be 4 heat races for the Shocker Hitch X Mods presented by Border Tire. Once again, they're going to be 8 laps in distance. And the top 16 out of those 4 heat races, the top 16 in passing points, are going to lock themselves into the feature. Hey, there's the Trick Ropers, by the way. Look at that.
Those guys put on a show. We appreciate they came out last weekend. We appreciate having them back as well, DJ.
I got to see them. I saw them here a couple years ago, man. They are absolutely spectacular. That is, I would have that thing around myself, tied up and rolling across the midway like a tumbleweed.
No, they're amazing at what they do, and just a little something extra we want to have for the fans here. And we hope that you're enjoying the show down there, and got some other stuff planned tomorrow. Again, the white tent in the midway. We appreciate everybody. You can head out there, make yourself at home. You were dumping things out of your shoe. I didn't know what that was.
I had a rock in my shoe.
DJ, this is Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Heat number 1 for the Shocker Hitch X Mods presented by Border Tires. Chris Hooper on the pole and Dawson Manicki out of Las Cruces in the 14.
Row 2 on the inside. It's going to be Blake Adams in the 40D on his outside. The 10 out of Tularosa. That is Brian Bennett.
Starting row 3 will be Rob Mosley. 2 wins on the streets out of Los Lunas and the M17. And his outside Andy Davis out of Bartlesville, Oklahoma in the 27.
Donovan Flores starts inside row 4 in the 07. He'll be flanked by the 12 out of Albuquerque. That's Isaiah Mendoza.
And your final 3 starters will be Kyle Nanko out of Grants, New Mexico in the 23, and Deuce Teague out of Las Cruces in the 02, with Corey Poland starting on the back row in the 25C out of Grants, New Mexico. 11 cars going at 8 laps. Passing points, the name of the game. The top 16 and passing points lock into the feature. Everybody else and being one of the 2 B mains coming up later this evening.
Give him a few laps.
Yeah, let's burn it in.
Slime off. Might be better for my Dirt Draft Fantasy team as well.
Could be better, could be worse, could be all points in between.
How's your flight looking?
Well, I've got them booked, but they're a lot more expensive when you got to book them within a week. So.
Yeah, that happens. That absolutely happens.
Move over expense report. And if you haven't seen, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series events this week have been shuffled a bit. Instead of practicing on Tuesday and racing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we are now going to practice on Thursday because of cool weather down there. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we will be racing down at Golden Isle Speedway, lucasdirt.com for more information. And again, Dylan Crawford, get ready because the expense report's coming your way. Flights are tough a week out.
Flights are tough anyway.
But a week out, they're really tough.
Yeah, or in the case of flying back home, just a little over 24 hours out as well. That makes things just a little more difficult, for sure. All right, well, they've got this track blowed off here just a little bit as we prepare for this first Shocker Hitch X-Mod Heat Race presented by Border Tire, and this will be the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Heat Race. In heat race number 1, Chris Hooper and Dawson Manicky on the front row. Blake Adams and Brian Bennett in row 2. And Mr. Rob Mosley and Andy Davis in row number 3. As they will go green flag racing next time by in that Rio Grande Waste Services starting zone. On orange shoes, Jason Rominger up there on the flag stand, shaking the green stick at the drivers. And that is to let them know that we are indeed going green flag racing next time by.
All right, well, racetrack, they got to be careful right now. They got it rolled in, still a little bit slime on it. And I tell you what, Chad Bowman and the staff went out and got this racetrack looking really good for these heat races. I don't know that we're going to need a whole lot more later on as the sun's starting to set on this FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park, presented by Low Voltage Solutions. First of 4, Shocker Hitch X-Mod heats up first, though, DJ, and it's going to be Hooper and Manicky on the front row, 8 laps the distance. And the Rio Grande Waste Services start zone looking good so far. Sandy bonding green flags out, and man, Manicky's car did not want to go, and he's going to fall back in the pack as we stay green. Yeah,
good start, though, for the 4 of Hooper, and he slides up the racetrack. Still just a little bit greasy coming off turn number 2. Look at Deuce Teague, 4 wide momentarily down the back straightaway. It looks like Donovan Flores is going to get the squeeze, but a nice move by Deuce Teague. He's going to go from 10th to 3rd in the opening lap of this one.
Now Deuce Teague goes to work on Mr. Oh, and Teague gets sideways, trying to save it. Oh, what? Oh, no, don't save it that way. Oh, and my goodness, just the weebles and the wobbles.
Yeah, just as quickly as he went from 10th to 3rd, he falls back to about 10th on the second lap of this race. So from 10th to 3rd, back to 10th.
And there you go, as Chris Hooper leads the way down the back straightaway. And oh, you got a new leader. Here comes Mr. Rob. He started 5th, and now he sits in position number 1.
Yeah, he's going to make his old lady happy if he can go from 5th to 1st in this one and pick up the win in Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Heat Race number 1, accumulating those all-important passing points. So he's out front, Chris Hooper in 2nd, and a good battle for the 3rd spot there on the right-hand side of the screen between the black and pink 07, that's Donovan Flores, and the black and green 40D of Blake Adams.
Out front, Mr. Rob setting sail. Let's not forget, DJ, that if he can win tonight, his chances for the Arizona Differential by Nate $2,500 4 or more challenge still alive. He's got to win the day in tomorrow to get that $2,500 bonus.
Absolutely, and let's not forget as well, he was the driver that passed the most cars last night also, right? I mean, he came from, what, 21st to 7th last night, I think?
He came up through there. He passed a ton of cars. He almost, you got to think, he was not even in a transfer spot in the B main for the longest and got there late in the race.
Good battle there for 2nd on your screen. Chris Hooper has it. Donovan Flores trying to take it away. Flores getting some good passing points as well, Ben. He started in position number 7. He's now worked his way up to 2nd, but man, Mr. Rob has turned in the key and checked out in this one. Coming around with a white flag this time by, and he's got a 2-second advantage over Donovan Flores and Chris Hooper.
We saw Mrs. Rob down there earlier, and she felt better about the pill draw tonight.
Yeah, she's looking a little bit better about the pill draw, absolutely.
Driving away from
and we got to meet their dog Rico as well.
He was. I love it, man. Rico hit the home run here last year, found a new home. Off of turn 4, Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire X-Mod Heat 1 will go to Mr. Rob Mosley.
Second's going to be Donovan Flores. Chris Hooper hangs on for the 3rd spot ahead of Blake Adams, Brian Bennett, Deuce Teague, Corey Poland, Isaiah Mendoza, Dawson Manicky, and Andy Davis going to round out your top 10 cars in Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Heat Race number 1.
How about coming home in 3rd, Chris Hooper? In 2nd, Donovan Flores. He started in 7th, and your winner, he started back in 5th, Mr. Rob Mosley out of Los Lunas, New Mexico. The La Cueva Pet Care Center, BD Allen, HRO, Jackson Compaction, Scott Sluka Racing, JDR Performance Court Carburetors, Hydrostatic Pipe Service, Mom and Dad, and Velocity USA, along with Basin Towing, all sponsors on that GR2 race car for Rob Mosley, who's already got 2 wins on the mini-series. DJ, coming up next, Victory Fuel Heat 2.
Indeed, and the lineup will look like this out of Tulsa, Louisiana. Kel Murphy on the pole in the 25K on his outside. Last night's winner from El Paso, the 44 of Christy Barnett.
Inside of row 2, it's Scott Bentz out of Jamestown, North Dakota in the 1S. And to Scott's outside, Shane Bailey out of Kearney, Missouri, at least for now, in car 7.
Row number 3 is going to be Blanchard, Louisiana's Cody Tupper in the 23T. And the 33 out of Las Cruces is going to be Justin Allen.
Row 4 is Josh Kane out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico in the 3J, the 21R of Riella Fanning out of Albuquerque.
And your final starters, Jaime Torres in the 44JT, Nathaniel Cruz in the CP3, and Mike Rosales in the 12M. 11 cars set to go 8 laps. They'll go green in the Rio Grande Waste Services starting zone, and this is Victory Fuel Heat Race number 2.
Now off into turns 1 and 2. Kel Murphy on the pole. He'll slide up across the racetrack, takes the lead. Last night's feature winner up. Going to be all for naught. Midwest Sheet Metal caution is back out, as I don't think we like that start. Christy Barnett was liking what she was seeing because she was heading to the lead. She started outside front row in this one and did the switcheroo. So we'll try it again. We'll get them doubled back up. Second of 4 heat races for the Shocker Hitch X Mods presented by Border Tire. You okay there?
Oh, that's a touchdown.
Little foosball.
Houston Texans. Yeah, that is an interception from Justin Herbert, it looks like. Did you have money on the game? No, you did not, because there is no online sports gambling.
If you did, it was made a questionable wager at a questionable location. I did not. No.
Shh, don't tell anyone. All right, here we go. We're going to line them back up again. Try it one more time, side-by-side double file in Victory Fuel Heat Race number 2. Again, Cale Murphy on the pole, Christy Barnett on the outside. It's a good heat race here. Scott Benson, Shane Bailey in row 2, Cody Tupper and Justin Allen in row number 3. Again, 8 laps the distance. Top 16 out of these 4 heats in passing points are locked into tonight's main event. Green flag waves in the Rio Grande Waste Services starting zone.
They're in it. We're on it. We're underway. Murphy this time. He'll head down low. Barnett steps to the outside. She was the winner here last night. And out of 2 down the back straightaway, Louisiana's Kel Murphy leads the way, but Christy Barnett right there with him. Scott Bentz back in 3rd. And now they'll switch lines through turns 3 and 4, and Barnett back to the inside. DJ, who's going to lead lap 1? Christy Barnett.
Christy Barnett, good race. Is Scott Bentz going to toss his hat in the party as well and make it a 3-way dance up there? Bentz gets a good run down to the inside of Cale Murphy down the back straightaway. Bentz in that red 1S, Murphy in the white and blue number 25. Move Bentz up to the 2nd spot, and he's going to bring Cody Tupper with him. Maybe we'll see at the line. No, still Cale Murphy in position number 3.
Louisiana drivers going at it back to, hang on to it. Out front, Christy Barnett picking right up where she left off last night. And we talked about Christy and the big year she had last year, back-to-back Super Truck titles here. Also the B-Mod Track champion, 12 wins last year. She got her first one of the year last night. She'll close in on Riella Fanning down the back straightaway. And a little lap traffic in front of your leader. Working lap 4 of his 8 lap of fair. Fanning will go high. Barnett will slip by. And Christy Barnett on cruise control out front.
Absolutely.
Oh, we got a spinner down.
Yeah, we do. It's going to be Justin Allen in the 33, and he's able to split those Rio Grande Waste Services flags, and I believe he is going to call it a race. So a tough break for Justin Allen. We'll look for him in one of our 2B mains a little bit later on. But Christy Barnett continues to pick him up and put him away, holding steady at about a 1.1, 1.2 second advantage over the red-headed rebel Scott Bentz. Cale Murphy 3rd, and Cody Tupper right now sits in 4th. And Ben, here is what 1.1, 1.2 seconds looks like here at FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park.
Ben's pedaling as fast as he can get there, and he's going to maintain about 1.2 as you saw the separation from Barnett back to Bentz, and then it is almost a full straightaway back to Murphy in 3rd, who's still got his hands full with Tupper. This time out of turn 4, white flags in their final time around the Speedway here in Victory Fuel Heat 2.
Christy Barnett looking good so far in this one. She adds another 1/10 of a second to her lead. Riella Fanning in danger of going down one more lap as the checkered flag is going to fly this time. Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, checkered flag is out, and the winner of Victory Fuel Heat Race number 2 is going to be Christy Barnett.
Scott Bentz is going to come home in 2nd. 3rd, drag race back to the line. Kel Murphy in that spot. Cody Tupper in 4th, and it's Shane Bailey, Josh Kane, Rosales, Torres, and Nathaniel Cruz with Fanning at the back. DJ, that wraps up Heat 2 for the X-Mods.
It does. Finishing in 3rd is going to be Cale Murphy in the 25K. Scott Bentz crosses the stripe in 2nd. And the winner of Victory Fuel Heat Race number 2 out of El Paso, Texas, in the Barnett Harley-Davidson CMD Racing Shocks Thrifty Nickel sponsored number 44. How about it for last night's winner, Christy Barnett?
Coming up next, Don Frank Floors Heat Race number 3. And on the pole, it's Duke Erickson out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota in the 57. Great look high atop this FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park. It'll be Duke Erickson. I'm sorry.
I hate we had to throw the lineup up there, actually.
I know, I do too. Well, you can kind of see it in the background if you look just right. Duke Erickson out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I know. The 57 to his outside. Hunter Sandy out of Albuquerque.
Jeremy Lacoste quietly had a good week. He's out of Lincoln, Arkansas in the 75J, and on his outside, out of El Paso, Texas in the 23H is going to be Hector Bardaza.
Row 3 will be Greg Gorham out of Las Cruces in the 93, and the 81 of Devin Jobin from Alamogordo.
Steve Holtkamper going to start inside row number 4. The Salem Springs, Arkansas driver on his outside. Remington Bud in the 161.
And row 5 will be Keenan Glasser out of Estevan, Saskatchewan in the 22. The 510 of Cody King out of Fanshawe, Oklahoma to his outside. On the back row, Craig Walker from Roswell, New Mexico in the 562. 11 cars coming at you, 8 laps. And there is the shot of the parking lot. Somebody is setting a land speed record across the parking lot. You can see the rooster tails being shot up out there.
Yes, they are.
As the sun's setting in the desert back toward El Paso, and a nice little crowd coming in here tonight.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Not a bad little crowd.
Absolutely.
We're going to do it again tomorrow, DJ.
Just goes to show you that sometimes it may look a little more empty on TV than what it actually is from that parking lot shot as the green flag is out. And we're underway in Don Frank Floor's heat race number 3. The Duke Erickson and Hunter Sandy lead him into 1-2.
And it's going to be Sandy, your leader, out of 2 down the back straightaway. Jobin shot out of a cannon up to 3rd. He'll come after Erickson for the 2nd spot. Jobin will step to the outside. Hunter Sandy leading the way. Erickson in 2nd. Jobin in 3rd.
Hunter Sandy's been good all week long, but just doesn't maybe have the finishes to show for it. But right now, he finds himself out front, leaving the rest of the field to fight from 2nd on back. And that's a good battle back there for about the 6th position or 7th position that you're looking at. They still remain 2 wide, nearly 3 wide all the way through the field, but the man out front continues to be the 7S of Hunter Sandy.
Hunter Sandy looking good. Meanwhile, Gorham slides into the 2nd spot. Erickson will peek back to the inside down the back straightaway. Jobin back in 4th. Lacoste sits in 5th. He's got a great seat for a 3-car battle for 2nd right in front of him.
Craig Walker in the 562 grabs the wall down in turns 1 and 2. He's able to gather it back up, and we stay green flag racing as we double it up for you at home. On the left side of your screen, the battle for 3rd. That white and orange 57 is Duke Erickson, Devin Jobin, and Jeremy Lacoste behind him. The battle on the right side of your screen, a little on back through the field as Cody King tries to work around. Oh man, and he does so and gets a love tap from the 22 of Keenan Glasser.
Meanwhile, out front, Hunter Sandy leading the way. He's had a good race car all week, maybe not necessarily the finishes he wants to show for it, although he was good a week ago tonight. He and Mr. Rob battling for the win, and he is cruising right now in the 7S car. In fact, his lead, 1.2 seconds over Greg Gorham in the 93.
And Greg Gorham again with a good run last night as well, Ben, as he was able to make the podium. And as you talk about those 2 drivers, there's a look back at the gap between 1st and 2nd, and it's roughly that same gap from 2nd back to 3rd as well, and then from 3rd on back is where business really picks up because Duke Erickson still has his hands full with the 81 of Devin Jobin.
Jobin goes to work on Erickson out of 2 down the back straightaway. Battle for 3rd. Devin Jobin in this one, trying to race his way into a podium spot. He started back in 6th. Erickson's got it. Jobin wants it. He's got 1 lap to figure it out, DJ, because the white flag's out.
Yeah, final time around. Again, Hunter Sandy, your leader. Greg Gorham 2nd. It looks like that's how those 2 are going to finish, and I might be wrong because we just stacked them up down in turns 1 and 2. We're going to see what the call is. They're going to stay green. Checkered flag is out, and Hunter Sandy's going to get the win. Greg Gorham will finish 2nd, followed by Duke Erickson, Devin Jobin, Jeremy Lacoste, and the rest of the field as they were able to get themselves off the racetrack after the accident site down in 1 and 2.
Yeah, they were letting them know on the receiver one-way communication to slow up after the checkered flag, so all stays well, and the checkered flag flies. Duke Erickson comes home in 3rd in car 57. 2nd will go to Greg Gorham, and the number 93, he started 5th, and your winner out of Bosque Farms, New Mexico, it's Hunter Sandy in the Rage Chassis, Whammer Jammer Racing Engine, Team MRW Mobile Services, Las Cruces Auto Pros, Tradition Real Estate, Cameron Cito Trucking, Absolute Window Cleaning, along with all the family, and even Mr. Rob being thanked on that race car. Hunter Sandy wins the 3rd heat race. DJ, it is now time for the 4th and final heat race presented by Woodland Auto Display.
And it's going to line up like this. Your pole sitter in this one out of Hatch, New Mexico is going to be Cale Riggs behind the wheel of the 96. And on his outside, one of my favorite dogs in the pit area, little Addie down there, running around the
Not in the
M77
car,
pit.
I mean.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Out of Bosque Farms, New Mexico, Cameron Martin in the M77.
Inside of row 2, it's Brian Craighead out of Farmerville, Louisiana, the G3, and the 23B of Israel Ortega out of Las Cruces.
Rowlett, Texas native Clint Arthur in the 21C is going to roll from 5th, and Leonidas Tanner out of Carlsbad in the 102.
Row 4 will be Nate Rinke. Got upside down back today, though, out of Lisbon, North Dakota, the 71. The 28 of Aiden Frazier out of New Mexico. And on the back row, Josh Balcom out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Joseph Swearingen out of Deadwood. No, I'm kidding. Out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin in kart 00.
See what you did there.
That was a great TV show. Oh, my goodness. Bill Riggs has a hard time getting going, and that's going to bottle him up. They started in the Rio Grande Waste Services start zone. Kel Riggs' car just did not want to take off, and he'll fall back to 3rd immediately, and everybody behind him got bottlenecked.
I was worried that Kelly was going to get the fly swatter after him.
There was a fly in it earlier.
Oh, man, one car goes,
3 different
almost
directions.
goes
Hang on to it.
around
Hang on
at
to it.
Clint Arthur, and he's able to save it. Wow. Good job by him. We stay green flag
Like
racing.
Walker Arthur saving it.
Yeah, or Arthur Walker, depending on who you talk to. It's Cameron Martin out front in this one, and he pushes way up the racetrack coming off corner number 4, and that's going to open up the door for Israel Ortega in the 23B, and I don't know that the transponder is working on Cameron Martin's M77.
And I tell you what, we think it was Ortega earlier that put all the fluid down on the racetrack. If it was, we're glad they got that race car fixed because he's on a rail right now.
Nothing old 10W40 can't fix.
That's right. Little duct tape on the engine.
Hey, how about Nate Rinke, by the way, after getting upside down last night, working his way up through the field as he started in the 7th position in the original lap. So I talked to Nate Rinke down there in the pit area before the racing action this evening, and that's him going for 2nd right now. They still had all the body panels off the race car, said broke the J-bar and a few other things. They said the chassis was intact. They said as long as they got the car put back together, he was going to be racing here this evening, and he is putting on a pretty solid performance thus far as Ortega gets sideways at the front of the field, and that's going to push Rinke to 2nd.
Kind of a tough place to lead right now. We've seen a few of the leaders have issues in this one. Ortega gets his feet back under him, though, down the back straightaway, and we got him stacked up over in turn 1 and 2, and that is very likely going to draw Midwest Sheet Metal Caution, and indeed it will. With 3 laps to go, Midwest Sheet Metal Caution out on the Speedway. Swearingen still sitting down in turns 3 and 4 as he and a few other drivers got together, and Swearingen still hanging out over there. You see the damage on the nose. Man, mangled the nose of that 00.
Yeah, it was Aiden Frazier, the other driver that was involved in the incident down here in turns 1 and 2. 5 laps in the books, 3 laps remaining. We'll take a look at the FK Rod Ends instant replay to see what brought out this Midwest Sheet Metal Caution. That's Frazier in that white and blue 28, and he gets a love tap from Brian Craighead down there in turns 1 and 2. The 00 of Swearingen with nowhere to go.
Bad place for Aiden Frazier right there, as you saw the FK Rod Ends instant replay. 5 down, 3 to go. Israel Ortega leads the way. He started 4th in this one, DJ, so if he can get the win and those passing points, he's going to have a strong case to be starting on the front row for tonight's 25-lap main event.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, 3 laps remaining in this one, as we've seen so far in this 4th Woodland Auto Supply heat race. Anything could possibly happen. So we are not going to go back to green flag racing this time as they try to get the 00 who was involved in the accident squared away there towards the back of the field. Leonidas Tanner looks like happy to hang out at the very tail end of the field. And you talk about those sunsets in the desert that just hit different.
Yes, sir.
Oh my, that is not Photoshop. That is not color enhanced. That is straight from one of our cameramen, and that is gorgeous.
Yeah, that's just straight beauty right there, man. You got to love them.
I tell you what, you keep announcing. I'm going to go out with my phone, take a picture of that, and I might be back in a few races.
One day I will be as good as Tyler Rinkin is with his cell phone and all the pictures he takes.
He's not up here to hear you.
He's not. No, he laughs. He says he's very good.
He stole our Hawaiian chocolate-covered macadamia nuts and left the building.
Rinky style.
Rinky style. It's Nate Rinke.
Look at that. You can even see it
in the 2nd spot. Oh my goodness, that is. Oh, it's back this way. Oh, you do not want to look directly into that sun.
New rules, don't look at the sun,
I
buddy.
am blinded for the next 3 laps.
All right, Israel Ortega. DJ learns a lesson at 45. He should have learned at 4 or 5. Out front, Israel Ortega leads the way, and we're back underway with 3 laps to go. And Woodland Auto Display Heat 4, and oh my goodness, Balcom did not want to go now. He'll get back on the loud pedal, and it is a bottleneck from 4th on back. Out front, though, Nate Rinke from upside down last night, trying to go to the top of the heap through 3 and 4. Ortega's got it. Here comes Rinke.
I tell you what, Ortega's had a few close calls, man. He's gotten sideways a couple different times and has done a nice job hanging on to that 23 car. And now he's going to have to turn back the challenges of a hard-charging Nate Rinke. As you said, Ben, up from the 7th starting spot. Cameron Martin right there as well as they come around to the white flag. It's going to be a 4-car dance for the lead as Brian Craighead's joined the battle.
Yeah, Ortega's right where he needs to be, though. Rinke right there behind him, and they work out a 2 down the back straightaway. Back in the 3rd spot continues to be Cameron Martin back there, or not Cameron Martin. As Huff at turn 4, we got a battle for the lead, and checkered flag. It's going to go to Ortega at the line. He picks up the win. Nate Rinke comes home in position number 2, and Rinke did his best. Rinke in car 71 comes home in position number 2. He started back in 5th, wholesale passing points. Israel Ortega, though, picks up the win from the 4th starting spot. The Lift Arm Construction, Brush Masters, Kit Carson Farms, Donkey Express. That's a fun sponsor. IRB, BMS Powered Entry. We're not talking about Shrek's Donkey either. No, Israel Ortega gets the win. 4th and final X-Mod Heat. DJ, it's time for the first of 4 Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mod Heats presented by Rancho Milagro, and this will be a Mod Heat 1 presented by FloRacing.
And it's going to line up like this, starting on the pole of this one. That is definitely late models I have in front of me. It's going to be Troy Girolamo out of Williston, North Dakota, home of the Williston Basin Speedway. And on his outside, out of Alamogordo, New Mexico. In the J7, it's Jake Bowles. Row number 2 from El Paso, Texas, the 54, is Carlos Amata Sr. And on his outside, out of Happy, Texas, 5-time USMTS Modified champ. Back behind the wheel of his own number 20, it's going to be the Rocket Rodney Sanders. 3rd row.
Turn it on. Inside of row 3, Rick Ortega out of Las Cruces in the 24, and to his outside, the 97 of Kate Dillard out of Roebling, Louisiana.
We move back to row 4, and then we find the Shootout, Kansas native in the 127 is Peyton Phillips. And on his outside of the 131, out of Las Cruces, it's going to be Royal Jones.
Row 5, Kevin Adams, Buzzy Adams out of Cameron, Wisconsin, the 420, and the 721 of Troy Gimmel. You got 3-digit numbers. You're starting row 4 or 5 in this one. And on the back, all by his lonesome, Cole Queensland out of Grand Meadow, Minnesota. How about that? 4 3-digit number cars in this heat race.
We just need a 4-digit number out there.
What about the 1111?
Yeah, well, we got the 131 out there of Royal Jones, and they're about to go 8 laps. Going to take the top 16 out of the heat race, top 16 for passing points in these heat races, lock them into the main event, and we have stacked them up coming off corner number 4.
Yeah, we got the 127 down there of Peyton Phillips, and he's hanging out with the 420. Buzzy. Little triple-digit number on triple-digit number violence coming to the C&D Bonding green flag.
That was Ben Shelton that was talking about all the triple-digit numbers, by the way. Why do you keep on jinxing people?
Well, they were connected for a second. We had a 6-digit number down there. We're going to get them back going and try to get this one underway. First of 4 heat races tonight for the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mod. What is that person carrying outside of turn 1? You see him walking down the road?
Oh, it's sheet metal, isn't it? Behind our cameraman Cody Hicken up there.
Yeah, he's going to go full spin. This is great. I don't think we've ever turned the camera the opposite way.
It looks like sheet metal from here. We're a long ways away, though. So
I just saw it. It looked like a wing was headed down through
Cody,
there.
It's cotton candy.
Cotton candy. Hey,
where's Blake Anderson?
Blake Anderson, we have found your Holy Land.
So that's how bad our eyesight is. Now we are roughly a quarter mile away from there too. So it looked like sheet metal.
Thank you, Cody Hicken. We appreciate that. That is fantastic.
And
man.
People are going to be making fun of our eyesight for eternity.
To be fair, that was a half mile from us. Well, a quarter mile. All right, we're going to try it again. Troy Girolamo on the pole. The car he owned won last night with Kyle Strickler. Jake Bowles alongside. Jake's in a totally different race car that he's been in. He went up in smoke yesterday. And we're going to try it again, and the good news is they've all made it to the flag stand.
Yeah, we'll see if they all make it through turns 1 and 2, though. You got some mashers in this one as well. Man, Girolamo's flying way up the racetrack. That's not good. Oh, baby. Oh, man. Well, looks like Troy Gemmel, Royal Jones getting the raw end of that deal. And as bad as it was, I was very scared it was going to be a lot worse.
I thought we were going to launch one. I really thought somebody was going to go for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Midwest Sheet Metal caution is out. Girolamo has got obviously front end damage. He's got a flat right front tire, probably a bent wheel, and he might have ruined a fire suit because they were coming at him full bore. and somehow, some way, it was not worse than it was. So we're glad to see that. Royal Jones was involved in it, the 131, and Royal has gone back to the pit area. Let's go to the FK Rod-Ins instant replay and see how bad it was and how bad it could have been.
You're going to see Girolamo, he's going to drift high coming off the corner here as he tries to steer the car off the corner. He slides right down in front of the field. And
Troy Gemmell there as well, Royal Jones. And I thought somebody was going to launch over his nose, and thank goodness they didn't. And whoa, Kate Dillard, how did you miss that?
Man. And that right there shows you just how much airtime the 721 got as well. So another 3-digit number involved. Again, it was Ben Shelton talking about those.
Girolamo, not a 3-digit number, to the pits. Gemmell to the pits. Royal Jones is going to see if he can stick it out. He's going to see if he can stick it out in the 131.
Every single one of them. Shame on you.
I want to argue with you, but you've got a really good case against me right now. Well, Dustin, I want to thank you for being with me here in the La Posta press box.
Yes.
Julian Herrera brought us a feast, a nacho bar, if you will. Trenton Berry, just take our word for it. It's fantastic. Trenton, how are you doing down there?
Trenton actually went to La Posta the other day.
Shoot, I went to La Posta for lunch today.
Attaboy, Trent.
That's right.
We've been there about, I don't know, 3 or 4 times since we've been out here.
We love some La Posta, man. They do a great job. And Julian, you'll like that our production trailer wants it to be the La Posta production trailer. And I told him, hey, man, don't be greedy. It's only the press box is the La Posta press box. But DJ, we come out here, and everybody, they're just such a great time out here. And everybody is just so accommodating. And, the middle of the week, things got a little hairy. Old man Winter rolled into town, and he took round 3 of this event. Gave us back-to-back snow days, which I don't think they've seen. Well, now that we're coming to town, anything's possible.
40 years, I was told, But
it's been 82 years.
Grace passed away 30 years ago. But no, I mean it is, and that was
great camaraderie.
We were not immune to really what a lot of the rest of the country got. It was actually, and again talking to Keiko Perez down there, it was snowing nearly 2 hours inside of Mexico. South of El Paso, Texas. That's all you need to know right there. About 100 miles or so, or inside the Mexican border. I mean, that is you're talking pretty far south now, man.
You ever seen the movie The Day After Tomorrow? I felt like it was happening for a few. It's where the world goes into the ice age. Temperature drops like 60 degrees. We did go from 78 a week ago today to it was 19 at one point in the wee morning hours Wednesday. So yes, it went south.
All right. Well, here we go in a lovely evening here in Vado, New Mexico, and we appreciate all of our camera folks sticking it out for those cold days. We're glad we got a warm one for you here this evening, as it's going to be Jake Bowles. We tried again, Jake Bowles on the pole, Carlos Amata Sr. on the outside. They go green flag racing in the Rio Grande Waste Services starting zone, and I don't think that one is going to last.
I can't remember the last time that this first modified heat race wasn't on the Speedway. It's been a minute.
FloRacing heat race number 1. Flow getting their money's worth
lack of
out of this one. Yeah, we need to get a flow going in this one here. So we'll try it again. We originally had 11 starters. That field is diminished down to 9 as we lost Troy Gemmell. We lost we lost Troy Gemmell, and we lost Troy Girolamo.
Yep. Royal Jones stayed out on the Speedway. He's going to try to tough it out. Jake Bowles on the pole. Carlos Amata Sr. steps to the outside, leader out of 2 down the back straightaway. Rodney Sanders, meanwhile, trying to take over the 3rd spot. He's right there with Rick Ortega. My goodness, they flare out 2 by 2 by 2 and score that lap to Carlos Amata. We've done it, DJ. We have a lap on the board in FloRacing Heat 1.
Attaboy. Don't say anything about anybody else, and we'll stay PSG through the rest of this one, man. Carlos Amata Sr. looking good after taking some time off back behind the wheel as he's out front in this one. 2nd spot, Jake Bowles, winner. Going to get a black diamond interview with Trenton Berry down in the infield as it's Carlos Amata Sr., Jake Bowles, Rodney Sanders, Rick Ortega right now rounding out the top 4. Kate Dillard running in 5th.
And we talked about all the 3-digit numbers. How about all the 20s? We got a 20, a 20Q, and a 420 in this one. But right now, the 54 is showing the good spot and driving away from the field. Bowles sits back in 2nd. Rodney Sanders in 3rd, working lap 4 of this 8-lap affair.
Yeah, good battle out there as nobody is able to pull away from the next closest competitor. As a matter of fact, Jake Bowles is able to sneak a nose down to the inside of Carlos Amata every now and again, as you see there on your screen, but unable to pull the trigger and complete the pass halfway home in FloRacing Heat 1. 4 down, 4 to go.
Oh, Amata gets high through 3 and 4. Coming around for lap 5, we have a new leader. No, sir, you will not. Carlos Amata still leads the way Jake Bowles looks to the inside. Rodney Sanders right there as well. Cade Dillard. Man, you got some really good cars in this one. Laps are ticking down, DJ. They'll race back to 2 to go with Amata over Bowles, over Sanders, over Dillard.
Look at that as they're going to fan out here down the front straightaway. It's still anybody's race within that top 4. Carlos Amata, senior, running a good race, able to keep Jake Bowles behind him. They're coming around this time to the white flag. Dillard looking down to the inside of Rodney Sanders. Ben, 1 lap to go.
White flag in there, final time around the speedway in FloRacing heat race number 1, and Amata's got a pack of wolves behind him. Bowles is there, Sanders is there, Dillard's there, final time out of 2.
They're going to head down the back straightaway for the final time, side by side for the 3rd spot. Jake Bowles has got one more shot. Here comes Cade Dillard down to the inside. Who's it going to be off corner number 4? Give it to Carlos Amata, senior, and a dandy. Jake Bowles 2nd. Cade Dillard 3rd, Rodney Sanders will finish 4th, and Rick Ortega ends up in the outside wall coming off turn number 3.
Ouch.
And that was an outstanding first FloRacing heat.
From 6th to 3rd, Cade Dillard in car 97 out of Roebling, Louisiana. Coming home in the 2nd spot, Jake Bowles out of Alamogordo, New Mexico. And after starting 3rd, picking up the win, Carlos Amata Sr. out of El Paso. The BMS Racing Engine, Hughes Race Car, Hacienda Mechanical, Eck Metalworks, Penske Shock, Swift Springs, Larry's Carburetors, and Schoenfeld Headers. All sponsors on that 54 car. And for the second night in a row, bad luck for Rick Ortega, but we'll head down for a Black Diamond Race Car interview with Trenton.
Catching up here with Carlos Amata. He's killed the engine of his Hughes race car, getting ready to take the helmet off here in just a moment. We'll slide in here and get a word with him, man. You have come so far in a week from giving up your starting position to move to the back in the early heat race to winning that one right there. Man, tell me about how your week's gone and how good does this feel?
We're gaining leaps and strides thanks to Junior. He's been helping me a ton. So happy.
There he is, Carlos Amata, the 54, winning that one. Of course, he's talking about Carlos Amata Jr. and his buddy Richard turning wrenches on the car.
The one and only Richard Ferrellis. You're going to get that car cranked down there, Trenton, as
He's going to get it. I've got faith in him.
Actually, if you just give it a good shove from behind Trenton, that ought to get it rolling here.
look at all that. Look at this beautiful sunset the last of it
yeah.
here at the racetrack. And Trent tried to help. Well, Rick Ortega back-to-back bad luck nights. As DJ, it is now time for Shocker Hitch heat race number 2. And on the pole will be Mark Smith out of Anthony, New Mexico to his outside. Cody Tanqueray out of Lubbock, Texas in the 3017.
Row number 2 on the inside. His dad just picked up heat race win. Carlos Amata Jr. in the 65X on his outside out of Glendon, Minnesota. The 51T is Joseph Thomas.
Row 3, the 157 of Joel King out of Artesia, New Mexico into his outside. The 58X of Gary Christian from Broken Bow, Oklahoma.
Row number 4 on the inside. Two-time USRA national champion out of Hayesville, Kansas, Tyler Davis in the 65. And on his outside, the winner here one night ago out of Mooresville, North Carolina. In the 8, it's the high side tickler, Kyle Strickler.
Row 5 of Jimmy Ray out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the 9R. To his outside, the 111 of Bumper Jones from Mesilla Park, New Mexico. And your final starter, John Neil Reed out of Loving, New Mexico. Now, DJ, we talked about the Hoker Trucking loyalty program for the late models.
Yes.
$5,000 will be divvied up among all drivers that don't make tomorrow's Rio Grande Waste Services 50, presented by Shaw Trucking. Well, guess what? We've had some extra money added for the mods tomorrow.
Okay.
And again, to reward the drivers that have set through some pretty unprecedented weather this week. Border Performance has come on board. Tomorrow night, the mods, instead of 150 to start the main event, will be 250 for the Weir's Machine Championship Night feature.
So that's Border Performance.
Border Performance.
Okay.
Actually, scratch, that's going to be Border International. There's a lot of companies Royal Jones has.
A lot of Border, Border.
This is going to be Border International.
Border International, okay.
And then in the X-Mod feature, instead of $60 to start tomorrow night, 150. So an extra $100 to start tomorrow night in the mods, an extra $90 to start the main event tomorrow in the X-Mods. That's courtesy of Border International and their loyalty program. And we're just thankful, again, to have these great marketing partners, but more than that, the great fans, the great racers. And I tell you what, it's been a trying week, but here we are with 2 great rounds of racing to wrap things up.
Absolutely, and we're about to go green flag racing here in Shocker Hitch heat race number 2 for the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Modified, presented by Rancho Milagro. Mark Smith in that black and yellow 2SS, and on his outside in the 3017, that is Cody Tanqueray as they head down the back straightaway.
And slider for second, Joseph Thomas going to go around Tanqueray. He takes the spot. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, man, this is good stuff right now. Here comes Carlos Amata Jr. His dad just won a heat. He's trying to get to third, and you got Strickler in the fold as well. Strickler was your winner last night, and they're getting frisky back there for position 3.
Yeah, another good heat race here, Ben. As you can see, Mark Smith, who didn't run with us the first half of the event this year, has come on strong in the second half, out front, leading this one. Joseph Thomas second, Gary Christian third, and now Kyle Strickler's worked his way up to fourth, and a pair of 65s going at it back there for P5.
Strickler from 8th to 4th, last night's feature winner, first ever Wild West Shootout feature win for him. As Mark Smith leads the way, he wasn't here last weekend. He was hanging out over at the Tulsa Shootout over in Tulsa, and let's not forget the Chili Bowl gets kicked into gear here in about 48 hours over there as well. That's going to be on FloRacing.
It is. I'm going to be at home to watch a lot of it now as well. So coming around this time, 4 laps down, 4 laps remaining. Mark Smith is your leader by 1.1 seconds over Joseph Thomas. Joseph Thomas, though, about to have the proverbial rear view mirror full of Gary Christian. On the left side of your screen, one camera on the race leader. On the right side of your screen, the battle for the 4th spot now, as they have closed in a little bit on Kyle Strickler in the 8.
Well, Mark Smith has led throughout this one. He started on the pole position, but in second, Joseph Thomas, he started 4th. Gary Christian in 3rd, he started 6th. Kyle Strickler in 4th, he started 8th. So there's some movers and shakers in this one. Meanwhile, position number 5, Tyler Davis, he started 7th.
Tyler Davis has worked his way up from the 7th spot up to 5th right now, but out front, Mark Smith, though, who started on the pole of this one, looking strong, Ben. He's added about a 1/10 of a second per lap to his lead, coming around with a white flag, this time by Mark Smith by 1.3 seconds over Joseph Thomas.
Mark Smith here in Shocker Hitch, heat race number 2 from the Sea Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods, presented by Rancho Milagro. Final time into turns 3 and 4. DJ checkered flag is out, and Anthony, New Mexico's Mark Smith takes the win.
Joseph Thomas will cross the line in 2nd, Gary Christian 3rd, Kyle Strickler 4th, and Tyler Davis is going to round out the top 5 in the 2nd Shocker Hitch heat race. You're going to see the rest of the top 10 there on the left side of your screen. So 3rd spot's going to go to Gary Christian in the 58X. 2nd, it's going to go to the 51T of Joseph Thomas, and your winner of Shocker Hitch heat race number 2 out of Anthony, New Mexico, in the Viva Chevrolet RVB Transport Victory Fuel BRZ Investments and Consulting sponsored number 2 SS. How about a round of applause for Mark Smith? We'll send it down to Trenton Berry.
Mark Smith down here with us in the 2SS after picking up that heat race win. Slide in here, get a quick word with you in a minute while they take the helmet off. Mark, you were not with us here last weekend. You had to get up to speed pretty quick, but it looks like you've done so, and you look pretty comfortable. How's it feel?
Yeah, we had motor problems for our first night last night, and this one's a little better. I felt good out there. Couldn't do without our sponsors, RVBT, Viva Chevrolet, BRZ, MSC, and MVT.
There he is, Mark Smith, the winner of that 2nd heat race.
He's got all the transport companies on that race car. DJ,
He's got all the initials.
It's the joy of seating heat 3 on the pole. Reese Solander out of Emporia, Kansas in the 5, and to his outside from El Paso, CJ Halsey in the 77. We're coming to the green.
Indeed, there you see the rest of the starting lineup on your screen as they roll off turn number 4 into the Rio Grande Waste Services starting zone. Green flag is out. It's going to be Reese Solander and CJ Halsey making contact down the front straightaway into 1 and 2.
Solander to the lead. He joined us yesterday, and meanwhile, side by side for 2nd, off into turns 3 and 4. Halsey's right there, but he's got company with the J17 of Jake Gallardo, the winner back on Sunday night, defending track champion here in the USRA Modifieds. Out front, though, it is all Reese Solander, and as good as he was in the X-Mods here, he's equally good in this A-Mod division.
Absolutely, man, as he's got a rocket ship out front in this one, as he's wasted no time opening up over a 1-second advantage here at the end of lap number 2. CJ Halsey, man, I know I said it last night, but I tell you what, that young man right there has done a good job. The El Paso, Texas native has been pretty solid here to, through the first 4 rounds of the Wild West Shootout.
He really has, and man, a lot of good cars here, but there's been some guys that are consistently up front. Me and right now, it's Halsey holding on to 2nd, as DJ just talked about him. Jake Gallardo in 3rd. Business picking up for 4. Josh Kane's got it, but stepping to the outside, down the back straightaway. Good battle as Sorensen's got his head of steam, DJ, on the top side of this FK Rod-Ins Vado Speedway park.
And you and I have said it all week long, right? If Sorensen team can ever actually accumulate enough of those all-important passing points to start a little closer to the front of one of our A mains, he'd certainly be someone to contend with. But right now, nobody is able to contend with Reese Solander, as they're just past halfway, 5 down, 3 to go. And the Kansas native has got a 2.2-second advantage over CJ Halsey.
Meanwhile, Sorensen now going after Gallardo for the third spot. Gallardo will go back to 4th. Sorensen will go to 3rd. Sorensen, a man on a mission right now. He started back in 7th. He's moved up to position number 3, and now he sets his sights on CJ Halsey, but they have all seen Reese Solander drive away from him.
Yeah, they have lost contact with the 5 of Reese Solander. They'll come around this time to the white flag on the left side of your screen is your race leader, Reese Solander. He's going to take the white flag. On the right side of your screen, that battle for the 2nd spot. Ben CJ Halsey has it. Dustin Sorensen trying to take it away on the final lap.
Oh, what a big move on the top by Sorensen. It's going to be Solander with an easy win. Meanwhile, from 7th to 2nd, can he hold on to it? Sorensen up top, Halsey down low, checkered flag to Solander. And 2nd will go to Dustin Sorensen. Coming on 3rd, CJ Halsey. Then it's Jake Gallardo, Josh Kane, and what was a very entertaining heat race number 3 presented by the Joy of Seating.
So 3rd spot's going to go to the 77 of CJ Halsey. From 7th to 2nd, that should get him some passing points. It's going to be Dustin Sorensen in the 19. And the winner of the Joy of Seating heat race number 3 out of Lebo, Kansas, in the Murphy Agra LLC, Hodges Farms and Dredging, MRSK Buildings, Flint Hills Towing, Midwest Wrap sponsored number 5. How about a round of applause for Reese Solander?
Solander's killed the engine on his Hodges Farms and Dredging. Midwest Wrap number 5, Murphy Agra on the sail panels as well. Another late arrival here to the event. Hey man, better late than never. You don't look like you missed any sort of racing over the off season. How'd that run feel?
That felt good. We've been struggling pretty bad in this car last night, but we are trying to get it figured out, and that felt good, and I think we're heading in the right direction.
There he is, guys. Another one of the guys looking to move and shake out of the B-Mod division. Reese Solander there in the 5.
He was shaking, moving all points in between, as now we have O'Reilly Auto Parts Heat 4, the 4th and final Heat 4, the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods presented by Rancho Milagro, and it's Jay Rosales out of Las Cruces on the pole in the 12, and Peyton Gallardo also from Las Cruces in the 17 alongside.
Nathan Smith inside row 2 on his outside, our only new entrant. Out of Tucson, the 0 is Jake O'Neill.
Row 3, Carson Dish out of Marana, Arizona. It's taken 5 days. We're there. And the 80 double X of Jason Langford out of Palestine, Texas.
No doubt on how to pronounce this one. It's Springfield, Missouri for the 75 of TP Terry Phillips. And on his outside, last night's X-Mod winner out of El Paso, Texas, or as my GPS calls it, A Paso. It's the 44 of Christy Barnett.
And row 5 will be Fito Gallardo out of Las Cruces in the G17. And the 18 junior of Ricardo Alagi Jr. from El Paso. And your final starter out of Wichita Falls, Texas, David Tanner in the D25. And I tell you what, we've got some folks out here doing a documentary. They get some film, some footage. I want to thank Courtney for coming out. We have had more local media coverage of this event than we've ever had, and it's really cool to see them coming out because this event injects a lot of income into this economy. There's all teams, there's fans.
Yeah.
They met somebody doing the documentary earlier. My wife's out there assisting with them, going around to talk to everybody. A race fan has watched us on FloRacing the past few years. They drove from Maryland to Vado, New Mexico, and his name was not Steve Gigas, our videographer. Drove from Maryland, and that's what it's all about. That's what the streaming is about. It's not to encourage people to stay at home. It's to encourage people to see racing they want to go to. And yeah, sometimes you can't make it if you live in Maryland and you want to go to New Mexico, but those race fans did, and I applaud them, and it's just really cool to see the coverage here.
Amen, brother. Amen.
I also want to make mention real quick, Jason Babiak just went through his stands, and look at all these young race fans. Brennan Willard gave some die-cast cars and some hoodies, and all these young race fans got them from Brennan Willard on the 3 car. Look at these happy young race fans out in the stands. Thank you, Brennan Willard Motorsports, for the die-cast cars and those young race fans that are getting those. Jason Babiak, our marketing director, just made his way through the grandstands and gave those out. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, good stuff, man. And Brennan Willard's a good dude, by the way. The Willards do a lot for racing.
Sponsored the pit party last night.
Yep, sponsoring the pit party and supporting drivers as well. Midwest Sheet Metal caution lights are turned off. O'Reilly Auto Parts heat race number 4 is underway. away, and Jay Rosales going to get the whole shot going into
Not
1
so
and
fast.
2, and that dog won't hunt.
Actually, instead of not so fast, a little too fast.
A little too fast, yep. So Kelly Carlton going to shake the naughty fly swatter at them. They're going to line it back up side by side, double file, and try it again. 11 cars racing 8 laps. Again, the top 16 in passing points after these 4 heats are going to lock themselves into the feature. Ben, we'll try it again with Rosales and Gallardo.
Looking better so far, and we are underway. And there we go, final mod heat of the night. Off into 1 and 2, Rosales, your leader. Gallardo steps to the outside. 2 Las Cruces drivers leading the way in this one. Meanwhile, it's an Anthony, New Mexico driver, and Nathan Smith back in 3rd in the 88 as they work off into 3 and 4.
And don't look now, Terry Phillips is already starting to pick his way through the field as Jake O'Neill gets way high down in turns 3 and 4. He's able to get the rear end of the race car back under him, but not before he lost a little bit of ground. He gets way high again down in turns 1 and 2. Terry Phillips trying to look down to the inside of Gallardo. That's the battle for 3rd on your screen. Oh, man.
There is a lot of good cars out here this weekend, and Terry Phillips will take 3rd away from Gallardo, and now Jake O'Neill bends that car 1 and 2. He'll diamond off the corner, and he'll shoot to the bottom off 2 as he goes to work on Gallardo. Out front, though, you got to battle for the lead. Hang on to it. Nathan Smith and Rosales get together. Hang on, Jake O'Neill. How did Jake miss him? How did we oh, no, and the Midwest Sheet Metal caution came out. I thought we were going to be able to stay green, but Jason Rominger on the yellow, and the Midwest Sheet Metal caution flies.
Man, that's tough. You've got to, I mean, you've got a car completely sideways at the front of the field with 10 drivers driving straight at him, man. Look, it's easy to second guess, right? But man, that was a very, very precarious position to be in. Nathan Smith gets in a little hot, makes contact with the 12. That 12 was completely sideways, and oh man, I mean, look, again, it'll be easy for the armchair quarterbacks to judge that one, but an incredibly tough call to make right there, as the Houston Texans have scored again, by the way. So we're going to get them lined back up. We'll see how race control shakes this one out. 2 laps are scored, 6 laps to go in O'Reilly Auto Parts heat race number 4. It's our final heat race of the night for the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods, presented by Rancho Milagro. Next up will be the first of 4 heats tonight for the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models, presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. And it looks like it is going to be the 12 of Jay Rosales falling to the tail end of the field. And man, that's a tough break. He was out front. Contact was made. And he's going to be deemed the caution car and fall to the back of the field. And it's just, it's no way to put it other than it's a no-win situation for everybody.
Yeah, that's tough. And you didn't want Rosales, though, to be in a bad spot, and that's why Rominger threw the Midwest Sheet Metal caution and doing the right thing. You want to protect these guys, and bad break for Rosales there. As we double them up, Delaware double file restart with Nathan Smith, now your leader. Terry Phillips in 2nd. Terry wants the outside on the restart, so that puts Peyton Gallardo to his inside, and we rack them and stack them. 2 down, 6 to go. Final Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mod Heat of the Night, presented by Rancho Milagro. We're going to shift gears after this into Dirt Track Bank Super Late Model Heat Race action, presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. 4 of those coming your way momentarily.
All right, so that second row, the second place car gets his choice of inside or outside lane. That's TP Terry Phillips. So the National Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer going to go on the outside. That'll shift Peyton Gallardo down to the inside, and the rest of the field staggers accordingly. Again, with 2 scored, 6 remaining in this one, Nathan Smith going to lead him into the Rio Grande Waste Services restart zone, into the green flag.
It's up to Nathan Smith to get back on the loud pedal. 6 to go. Nathan Smith, your leader. He started back in 3rd. Meanwhile, Terry Phillips up to 2nd. Old TP started back in 7th. Wholesale passing points. He would have loved to pick up 1 more spot here, but Jake O'Neill on the move in the 0. First night of the year here with us in 2025. No, we got a spinner back in the pack. That's Jason Langford. We're going to get the lap, and then we're going to get the Midwest Sheet Metal caution as Langford with a 4-wheel free slide. And the Midwest Sheet Metal caution is out with 3 down, 5 to go.
Over-rotate is what our good friend Dale McDowell would say. Langford going to get that car out of harm's way. He will rejoin the field at the tail. And as Ben mentioned, we were able to sneak a lap in. Somebody from the Houston Texans is wearing the green slime hat.
Nickelodeon in the house.
Okay. We need Trenton Berry to have the green slime hat on the next time he does one of those Black Diamond race car interviews.
You're going to have to probably just post the infield position for sale if that becomes the requirement.
It's either that or you got to get on an airplane, Trent. It's one of the 2.
Oh, my goodness. Don't stress me out here.
Fair enough, Trent. Fair enough. Well, Nathan Smith leads the way. 3 down. He will come back to the green flag out of turn 4 with C&D bonding. Green flag on the backside of the Rio Grande Waste Services restart zone. And Nathan Smith, your leader. Phillips took the outside on the last double file restart. He took the inside this time. That lets Jake O'Neill have the outside groove. We'll see if the Tucson driver can do anything with it.
Yeah, and that's where Jake O'Neill's been running, is the outside of the racetrack as well. And he's got sparklers and snakes, as our good friend Jay Van would say, down the back straightaway. That's going to give sole possession a second back to Terry Phillips. Jake O'Neill's going to tuck in line in third. This all happens behind your race leader, Nathan Smith. 4 down, 4 to go.
Yeah, man, that was close quarters racing back there. Gallardo back to 4th. Meanwhile, Olagi sits in 5th. Christy Barnett back there challenging him. Olagi started in 10th, and Ricardo Olagi Jr. in 5th, but Christy Barnett giving him pressure. Meanwhile, on your screen, Rowan running into 1 and 2. There's the battle for second. Terry Phillips has got it. Jake O'Neill knocking on the back door, and they are working here on lap number 6 of his 8-lap affair, and it's been entertaining so far.
Well, Mark Smith got a win a couple of heat races ago. Nathan trying to hang on for 2 more laps and get this one right here. Terry Phillips also trying to shake himself free of that second place battle, but like a pesky fly in the La Posta press box, Jake O'Neill simply will not go away. They come around this time to the white flag. Final time around for your leader, Nathan Smith.
Nathan Smith right now cruising around the cushion here at FK Rodin's Vado Speedway Park, presented by Low Voltage Solutions. Down the back straightaway, a 1 second plus and growing lead. Final time into 3 and 4.
Final time indeed. Checkered flag in the air. Nathan Smith going to get it done here in O'Reilly Auto Parts heat race number 4. Terry Phillips second, Jake O'Neill third. It is Vito. I kept saying Peyton Gallardo. That is Vito Gallardo. And now Peyton is in it as well. Peyton fell back. Vito worked his way up to 4th, and then Ricardo Olagi Jr. rounds out the top 5.
Coming home in 3rd, Jake O'Neill 2nd from 7th, Terry Phillips out of Missouri, and your winner out of Anthony, New Mexico, the Viva Chevrolet, Mesilla Valley Transportation, BRZ Investment, Rio Valley Biofuel Transport, Hatfield Powered MB Custom Entry for Nathan Smith, and he'll get a Black Diamond Race Cars interview with Trenton.
Nathan Smith's come to a stop right here inside of the exit of turn number 4, right before they head to the Winning Edge carburation tech area down there. Nathan Smith taking his helmet off. We're going to slide in here, get a quick word with him. Hey man, it turned out to be a great heat race for you, but it was almost all for naught. Tell me about that damage on the right front there and what happened.
Yeah, I can't even see it. The car still felt pretty good. I definitely didn't mean to get into the 12th there. I just had a head of steam and thought he was going to the top and went for the bottom, and he cut down. But car feels good. We'll just look it over and hopefully rip in the main again.
There it is. Great heat race for you there, the 88 of Nathan Smith.
All right, thanks a lot, TB. We'll shift gears, as Ben said, and move in to this evening's first heat race for the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models, presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. 8 laps in distance, and they had qualifying earlier, Ben, so the top four out of each of these prelims will race their way into the show. And let's go ahead and throw that starting lineup on the screen for you. Tonight's quick qualifier out of Group A, out of New London, North Carolina, Carson Brown in the 28B. Going to start on the pole of this one, on his outside. Turbo out of New Waverly, Texas. It's going to be Tyler Erb.
Road 2 will be Garrett Alverson. Last night's feature went out of Las Cruces, and to his outside, he was upside down, but he's back in the show tonight. It's the 49 of Jake Tim out of Winona, Minnesota.
Seth Daniels out of Jackson, Ohio, starts inside row 3, and on his outside out of Lebanon, Missouri, the 56 is Tony Jackson Jr.
Tony went to a backup car, so he's going to tag the back of the pack instead of starting 6th. Row 4 will be Stormy Scott out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the 2S, the 74 of Mitch McGrath out of Waukesha, Wisconsin.
And your final starters then, Terry Carter, he calls Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta home in the 16 on his outside. Out of Shreveport, Louisiana, looking to shake that bad luck that's followed him around the last few nights. It's going to be Clay Stuckey in the 15. 10 cars, 8 laps. Again, top 4 transfer into tonight's main event. 5th on back goes into one of 2 B mains coming up a little bit later on here this evening. Caution lights have been turned off. Green flag is going to wave this time by in the Rio Grande Waste Services starting zone, and a warp speed start through turns 3 and 4. It's going to be Carson Brown and Tyler Erb leading him into 1 and 2, and I think that start was maybe a little too fast.
Don't think they like what they saw there. Carson Brown, how about Randall Edwards, Cheeseburger himself, the Hamburger, turning the wrenches on the 28, and he was tonight's Swift Springs Fast Qualifier presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze, and he got a little bit maybe too fast of a start right there. We'll rack him and stack him, no harm, no foul. Jason Romagers says, hey man, we want you side by side in the Rio Grande Way Services start zone. And Tyler Erb, Tyler has had, to your point last night, DJ, already a much better year in the desert than he had here in 2024.
Yeah, he absolutely has. As he came home with podium finish the other night. He was on the podium, I think, last night, right?
Yes.
With a third place finish, yeah. So, another, boy, they are quick through turns 3 and 4. But they are side by side, 2 by 2 in the Rio Grande Way Services starting zone. That start's going to hold up. Brown on the inside, Turbo on the outside.
When Carson Brown slides up the racetrack, Garrett Alberson back in third. Turbo thinking about a slider through turns 3 and 4. Brown's got the cushion, though, lap 1 to Carson Brown. And here comes Jake Tim in position 4 with McGrath on the outside looking in 5th.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Jake Tim was upside down last night. 4-car breakaway at the front of the field, and it's a good one here to start Swift Springs heat race number 1. Carson Brown, Tyler Brown gets too high. They're going to, man, I thought they were all going to wreck.
Turbo's going to throw a slider right here, and will he? He leaves a lane out there. They go good, hard, clean racing as Carson Brown somehow, someway saved it in turn 4. Tyler Erb will go to the cushion in through 3 and 4. Alberson in third. 4th is Jake Tim. DJ, this one's breakneck pace. It's 3 down, 5 to go.
Yeah, absolutely, man. They are setting warp speeds out there. Turbo is good on the bottom through turns 1 and 2, but he's not quite good enough for the time being to throw a slider on Carson Brown. Garrett Alberson watching all of this unfold in front of him. 4 down, 4 to go.
Carson Brown leads the way at the halfway mark as he goes to the top side 1 and 2. Tyler Erb through the low middle side. Meanwhile, Alberson closing in on Turbo. Top 3 breaking away from Jake Tim, who's got a comfortable advantage over 5th place runner Mitch McGrath. As Alberson to the inside of Turbo, nothing there. And right now, Carson Brown is really stabilized after that one bobble in turn 4 a few laps ago.
Yeah, a little bit of smoke showing out once again from the driver of the 4th player of the 49 car, your 4th place car, Jake Tim. Meanwhile, here comes a monster slider for Garrett Alberson. I mean, he drove that thing clear to Deming.
That thing started in Nevada and it ended over here in Vado. Down the back straightaway. Carson Brown said, have at it, boys, because I'm racing to the white flag out of turn 4. Tyler Erb will go back to the cushion. He's not going to let Alberson get back to the top. 1 lap to go, DJ.
Final time around, Garrett Alberson tired of people telling him he's not aggressive enough as he threw a haymaker down there. Turbo's got a little run here on the 28 down the back straightaway for the final time. Checkered flag in the air. Does Turbo have anything? He does not. Picking up his first Wild West Shootout heat race win is going to be Carson Brown, and Turbo by half a nose over Alberson, and Jake Tim will round out your transfer cars in a highly entertaining first Swift Springs heat race.
Your 4th and final transfer, Jake Tim out of Winona, Minnesota in the 49. 3rd to Garrett Alberson out of Las Cruces in the 58. 2nd to Tyler Erb out of New Waverly, Texas in the 1. And picking up the win in Swift Springs Heat 1 out of New London, North Carolina, Carson Brown, the Pay Cafe, EBB Logistics, GBS Brand Connect, Bill Stein Sunoco, a Bioclinical, Midwest Sheet Metal Sparks Oil Company, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn. And Trent, it was just a few nights ago you were talking to him as a winner of the Pro Power Dash. Now he is a heat race winner. Down to you with Carson Brown.
You know, it's been neat to see the progression of several of these teams throughout the course of the week, and none more really than the 28 right here. As you talked about, Carson Brown picking up his first Wild West Shootout heat race win. You know, Ben said it a minute ago. We were talking after the Pro Power Dash a couple of nights ago. You've come so far. You had to hold off Alberson. You had to hold off Turbo right there. How'd you get it done, and what was your plan of attack?
Man, I don't know. We just came here to make races and to get a lot of laps. And whenever we were starting to pick up speed and get better in qualifying, I knew we kind of had something. And when we qualified first, I knew that we just needed to hold off some of these pretty heavy hitters. But yeah, it's really happy to be here. And yeah, this is awesome.
There he is, Carson Brown, your winner. Let me hand you your helmet back there, young man. Job well done in the opening heat.
He's making laps and he's winning heat races. Carson Brown wins Swift Springs Heat 1. Now we got FK Rod-Ins heat race number 2, and on the pole, Bakersfield, California's Ethan Dodson in the 74X, and to his outside, Oakwood, Illinois' Bobby Pierce in the 32.
Don Shaw going to start inside row 2. He's out of Ham Lake, Minnesota, followed by Ian Whistler, Dustin Sorensen, Ross Bales, and you see the rest of the starting lineup there on your screen. Again, this is going to be FK Rod-Ins heat race number 2. 8 laps the distance, top 4 transfer, and they go green in the Rio Grande Way Services starting zone.
Ethan Dodson with a hole shot. Pierce is going to head to the cushion. Dodson's going to slide to the cushion out of turn 2. Can Pierce turn back down the hill? Yes, sir, he can. Off into 3 and 4. Pierce with the advantage. Dodson to the outside. Back in 3rd and Shaw. Lap number 1. Score it to who? Bobby Pierce.
Bobby Pierce out front, no surprise here at FK Rodden's Vado Speedway Park, and he takes the slider line away, or tries to, from Ethan Dodson. Dodson, though, gets a good run through 1 and 2. Will he try a slider in 3 and 4? He will not. He'll tuck in behind Bobby Pierce. That's how they run at the end of lap 2.
Bobby Pierce was leading his heat race last night, got away from him late in lap traffic. A lap car bobbled in front of him. Right now, clean and green down the back straightaway, working lap number 3 of FK Rodden's Heat 2, and now Pierce starting to stretch it out ever so slightly over Dodson, and these 2-car breakaway out front. Meanwhile, Shaw in 3rd, back in 4th, it's Bells, and Sorensen with a slider to take 5th from Whistler.
Yeah, and that's the battle on your screen, that battle for the 5th spot. That's 1 spot out of a transfer as Dustin Sorensen, the 5th place car, now going to pull ahead of the 82 of Whistler and the 13 of Bryson James. So now you're looking at the battle for 6th. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, that 2-car breakaway, well, they just keep breaking away even farther. But I tell you what, Ben, Ethan Dodson not letting Bobby Pierce out of his crosshairs.
Now, right now, Dodson keeping pace as Bryson James and the concrete over in turn 2, and that will draw the Midwest Sheet Metal caution. The Albany, Oregon driver in car 13 up into the wall, trying to drive off from it. 4 down, 4 to go. And Trenton, it's interesting the way we've watched this racetrack. We've seen a little bit of everything this week, and right now the top is really, really good. But how about from your perspective, the guys starting to run the bottom? You got to think that Brandon Shepard line is going to come in as the night goes on.
Yeah, I think so. And you can see, especially over here, hit 3 and 4, it's got a little bit of a darker strip right there on the bottom of it, and track's been great all week long. I definitely think they'll push that up higher towards the wall on the outside as the night progresses as compared to last night. But man, the race has been really good. This was interesting too. I was interested to watch Bobby fire from the outside instead of the inside for the heat race, and he was no worse for the wear, not qualifying on one of the inside positions. So he can do whatever here in this one. It's so wild watching him race and watching him navigate this track in all kinds of conditions.
Well, we got a lot of good cars here, and I tell you what, talking about the modified aces real quick, Trenton, how about Ethan Dodson coming to the IMCA ranks into the late model world? You just get the feeling that Ethan's got a world of potential.
No, I really do. I think you're correct in that assessment. And dude's won a ton of modified races. He's a fan of mod racing, but he's got a great opportunity presented in front of him here this season.
Pretty good ringer in the stock cars, too, is Ethan Dodson. DJ, we come back to the CD bonding green flag in the Rio Grande Waste Services start zone. 4 down, 4 to go. And FK Rodden's Heat 2, and Pierce really gets a good restart. Shaw looks to the inside of Dodson. Oh. Dodson catches the concrete, and Bells is going to go by. Sorensen goes by from 2nd to 5th in less than half a lap. And now Sorensen with a monster slider through 3 and 4. Oh, he might not turn, and he's going to catch the wall out of 4. Somehow, Sorensen drives off from the fence, but he loses wholesale spots. My goodness.
What on earth is happening in this heat race? This is Heat 5 at Eldora. I mean, what's going on right now? Well, let's reset things for you here with 2 to go. It's Pierce, Shaw, Bales, your top 3 cars, and Ethan Dodson, after getting the wall, fell back to 5th, but is now back up to 4th after Dustin Sorensen tried his best to drive that race car out of the park. Ben, 1 to go.
Final time around, Bobby Pierce cruising away from him, 1.4 seconds the advantage over 2nd place runner Don Shaw, who's have a good run in this one. Through 3 and 4 final time, and the winner of FK Rodden's Heat 2, Bobby Pierce. 2nd will go to Don Shaw, coming home in 3rd, Ross Bells. 4th and final transfer, Ethan Dodson. Whistlers will head off to the B main, along with Sorensen, who somehow survived to finish that one, Bryson James, and Brennan Willard.
So the 4th spot goes to the 74X of Ethan Dodson, Ross Bales 3rd, Don Shaw 2nd, and your winner, that Vic Hill-powered Longhorn, the Low Voltage Solutions, Churchill Transportation. Collins Brothers Towing, Rio Grande Waste Services, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Carnegie Towing, Fast One Speed Shop, Toyota of Danville, RVB Transport sponsored number 32. How about it for the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce?
Bobby put a good one together right there. He didn't run off and hide from anybody, but it was all his late in the going. Hey, I'm going to take a shot at a different kind of question for you here. Do you approach these heat race starts any differently from the outside as compared to the inside?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're waiting on that leader to go, and you're trying your best to anticipate the start, but he actually got a pretty good jump on me. I thought he was going to go a little later in the box. He went about right away, so he actually had the jump on me down the front stretch, and had a really good 1 and 2 that was kind of comparable to that first night when I got Alberson on the restart, and yeah, I don't know, I felt like we were pretty even. We just got him off there on 2 and did what we had to do, so looking forward to it.
There he is, Bobby Pierce, the 32, getting ready to do the scale.
Well, that's two guys that'll be racing together against each other a lot. Bobby Pierce going after another World of Outlaws title this year. Ethan Dotson going after Rookie of the Year. DJ, it's time for Toast Construction Heat 3.
The lineup will look like this. Your pole sitter is going to be Drake Troutman out of Hindman, Pennsylvania. On his outside, I think his best heat race starting spot of the week is going to be Brandon Shepard in B5.
Row 2 will be Sam Mars out of Menominee, Wisconsin, the 28, the 157 of Mike Marlar from Winfield, Tennessee.
Dylan McCowan inside row 3. On his outside, Hot Sauce Tomas Hunziker.
Final 4 starters will be row 4, Rob Sanders out of Bakersfield, California, with Kyle Beard out of Truman, Arkansas. And on the back row, South Carolina's Keaton Smith and Nebraska's Jake Neal. 10 cars, 8 laps. And this is Toast Construction Heat 3. Top 4 to the feature, winner to the Schaefer Oil redraw for the Gorsuch Performance Solutions Pole Award. And we are underway, and there's all kinds of different directions your top 4 are headed. Meanwhile, Troutman going to throw a slider on Sheppy.
Ooh, yeah, that was a nice move as well. Sheppy, though, going to try to drive down underneath him, down the back straightaway. Troutman comes in just a little bit lower, trying to take the slider line away as Sheppy goes right across the nose of the 22, and the 22 out front. Wow.
3,000ths of a second. Now Sheppy with a big run off of 2 down the back straightaway. Sheppy's going to return the favor. Off into turns 3 and 4. Sheppy with the slider. Troutman's going to turn back down the hill. Who's going to lead lap number 2? Replay of lap 1, except this time Troutman's got a car length advantage.
I've seen this movie before, man. Good, hard, clean racing, and Mike Marlar says, hey guys, you guys are having fun. Let me join in on this as well. A slider in 3 and 4, Ben? I think so.
Oh, Troutman catches a little bit more of the cushion. He's going to dive back down. Sheppy's right there. Here comes Marlar. Meanwhile, in the 4 spot, it's Sam Mars and Kyle Beard from 8th to 5th. This one's good right now.
Heat race of the year so far. What a battle. Here comes Mike Marlar. He'll throw a slider on Brandon Shepard through turns 3 and 4. Sheppy, hey, this ain't one of those fake announcer sliders.
No.
These are real freaking slide jobs, man. This is fun.
These are...
Oh, no!
And Marlar goes around battling Sheppy for position 2, and my goodness. Wow.
Oh, man, you hated to see it come to that because it was so good and so clean for so long. And Mike Marlar, who just could not catch a break for the better part of 2024, has not caught a lot of breaks here this week as well.
No.
And we'll get the FK Rod Ends instant replay queued up, and man, you hate to see that.
Marlar going after it off into 1 and 2. Those two are trading sliders, and Marlar throws it off in there, and just, oh man, just not enough there. Sheppy tried to peek around the outside, and they get together. Two guys are going to be racing together a lot this year as well. Both those drivers on the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Sheppy will be in the Rocket 1 racing entry, and they're going to check on the back of Marlar's car. Meanwhile, Shepard heads to the body shop. And Vado, how about the racing action so far in this one? My goodness, this is... I tell you what, this racetrack is special. And the track staff, Chad Bowman, Lewis Breeden, Ray Cook's been pitching in a hand. They have had it on point, even on a day after the dang thing was frozen and there was an inch of snow on it.
Yeah.
They had it on point. And right now, entertained here in Toast Construction Heat 3. Trenton Berry from the infield. How about the front runners in this one?
I'm entertained. Very, very entertained. That was wild. You don't see typically Marlar and Shep have issues in heat races. You know, that's not typically a thing. So, boy, just really hard racing. Everybody landed on the line. You can see what it means to run up front, qualify up front with the money coming up here a little bit later tonight. Good stuff.
Well, Troutman leads the way in this one. Shepard second, Mars in third. How about Kyle Beard 8th to 4th right now? Not a great qualifying effort, but making up for it in racing action in the 86.
Absolutely, as they'll fire in the Rio Grande Waste Services restart zone. 4 down, 4 to go. A good restart for Drake Troutman. We'll see if he and Brandon Shepard are pleasantries. And meanwhile, Kyle Beard trying to continue his march through the field.
Now McCowan's going to come after Beard. Beard broke his momentum going to the bottom through turns 1 and 2. Right now, the top is just pretty sporty, and they're going to cruise around the top of that. Right now, the slider line is the line to pass. Is your top 5 cars happy to run on the top side? Hunziker, the first one on the bottom. He'll go after Jake Neal for position number 6. Neal has come from dead last in this one, but DJ, laps are ticking away. 2 laps remain for Drake Troutman.
Yeah, right now, everybody seems content on the high side of the speedway. So after our first half of the race that saw slider after slider after slider, you've now got guys thinking, hey, you know what? I might just kind of hang on to the spot that I'm in, especially in that top 4, where those drivers transfer in. Ben, white flags out, final time around for Drake Troutman.
Drake Troutman out of 2 down the back straightaway. Talked to that team owner, GR Smith, today. They're going to run all the speed weeks and then decide on which national tour, and they're definitely going after a FloRacing Night in America title. But right now, they've got the win in Toast Construction Heat 3 over Brandon Shepard, Sammy Mars, and from 8th, Kyle Beard in the 4th and final transfer. Dylan McCowan in 5th, Jake Neal 6th.
And that's how they're going to finish. We'll flash that up for you on the left side of your screen. Kyle Beard 4th, Sam Sam Mars third, Brandon Shepard second. Your winner is a Clements-powered Longhorn. It's the G.R. Smith-owned Victory Circle Auto Sales, Gambler Transport, Brickhouse Tavern, RFI Resources, Messina Valley Transportation, Jerry's Siding, Roofing and Doors sponsored number 22 star. How about it for the 19-year-old out of Hindman, Pennsylvania? It's Drake Troutman.
Troutman comes to a stop down inside of turn number 4. The helmet's off. He's killed the engine on his race car, and we'll slide in and get a quick word with him, man. A lot of action behind you right there, specifically between Shep and Marler. You were able to keep your nose clean, but how important was it for you to get away from all that just as quickly as they dropped the green flag?
Yeah, just putting ourselves in a position here to, start off running here tonight and hopefully have a chance to win. This thing's huge. Feel like we have a really good race car all week. We just hadn't put us in position, to win these things. And there's a lot of great cars out here. And Shep, he's a class act. Racing me clean there. And I don't know. Hopefully we put on a good show for the fans. And can't thank GR and his wife Stacy enough for giving me and my boys this awesome opportunity, and all my boys for busting their asses here for me this past week. Been pretty hard on them on body work, but I don't know. Hopefully we can get us one here tonight.
There he is, Drake Troutman in the 22.
Like the ASD Motorsports meanie that he threw on there.
You think you got a $100 bonus for getting that on camera?
He might have. Let's see if I can get one for wearing one as well.
Look at this guy.
I love it. Rio Grande Waste Services Heat 4 final late model heat race of the night. Kate Dillard out of Robeline, Louisiana, and Colin Weinbarger out of Corbett, Oregon in row 1.
Row 2 will be Preston Luckman out of Coos Bay, Oregon, and John Kirby out of Russellville, Arkansas. Row 3, Chase Younghans and Richard Pappenhausen. Row 4, Jason Miles and Kent Rosevear, Steve Stoltz and Keiko Perez in row 5. 10 cars, 8 laps, top 4 to the feature, winner to the Schaefer Oil redraw for the Gorsuch Performance Solutions Pole Award. And the CD bonding green flag is out, a little beating and banging out of turn 4.
Yeah, they're going to stay side by side off into 1 and 2. Kate Dillard drives it deep into the corner and going to get the advantage on the 14S of Colin Weinbarger. John Kirby trying to pick up where he left off last night, but at the front of the field. I've seen this movie before. Sliders again for the lead. Dillard at the end of lap 1.
Turn 4 is fun right now. Younghan's going to come after Kirby for the 3rd spot. Preston Luckman watches all that unfold back in 5th. Kirby gets on the binders, going to bump the brakes a little bit. That allows Luckman to close in. Pappenhausen as well. Kate Dillard leads lap number 2, and he's got a 0.7 of a second advantage over Colin Weinbarger, who led a lot of laps back on Sunday.
At 22 lap to be exact, as Chase Younghans remains in the 3rd spot. John Kirby going to try to hang on to the 4th position. Preston Luckman, who had a good qualifying effort, deck height was too high though, so he had to go back to start his heat race, go back 1 row to the inside of row number 2. He fell back a couple spots right now. He is the first car out of a transfer, running in position number 5. That's him on the left side of your screen ahead of Kent Rosevear.
Right now it is a top groove kind of racetrack as we work the 4th and final heat of the night. We move off to B mains after this, DJ. The X-Mods will be up first. Right now, Kate Dillard, who won a late model feature here last year, and he also won a lot of mod races here as well. He leads the way over Colin Weinbarger. Chase Younghans in 3rd. John Kirby in the 4th and final transfer. Preston Luckman trying to get there with 3 laps to go. Luckman on the outside looking in.
And that's the battle for the transfer on the right side of your screen. I don't know what Luckman's going to do when he gets to him. He'll have to throw one of those sliders. You're exactly right. He's closed in pretty quick on him, Ben. Again, that's John Kirby, the red and black 11. Preston Luckman in the white and green number 77.
Luckman maybe sizing him up for one. He's got a lap and a half to figure it out, because off of turn number 4, Kate Dillard sees the white flag. Final time around the speedway here at Rio Grande Waste Services Heat 4.
It's a 1.2 second advantage for the driver out of Robeline, Louisiana. It's that battle for the transfer still under protest on the right side of your screen. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Kate Dillard comes around to the checkered flag, and he's going to get the win. Second's going to go to Colin Weinbarger. 3rd will go to Chase Younghans, and it's going to be John Kirby getting that final transfer spot. I did not realize up until right there how close Keiko Perez and Chase Younghans' cars look. Rest of the top 10 there on your screen. Ben, give him the top 4.
Coming home in 4th, John Kirby out of Russellville, Arkansas. In the 3rd spot, Chase Younghans from 5th. 2nd to Colin Weinbarger. And your winner, Kate Dillard. Robeline, Louisiana, the S&S Fishing Rentals, Joel's Auto Sales, Messina Valley Transportation, Production Jars, Jody's Oilfield Services, Johnsville Company, Strength Roofing and Siding, Nichols Store, Bill Stein, and Wheeler Metals, all sponsors of that Clements-powered Longhorn. And he's going to get a Black Diamond Race Cars interview with Trent.
Walking up here to the S&S Fishing and Rental Longhorn number 97, Kate Dillard's going to pull the helmet off, and we'll get a quick word with him about his performance in that heat race. Cade, you're headed off to the Schaefer Oil redraw. How much does it put your mind at ease knowing that you're going to start in one of the front 2 rows here coming up, as opposed to if you weren't able to get it done in that heat race and had to move further back?
Yeah, it definitely helps. There's a lot of good cars behind you, and I feel like we had a really good car here. We unloaded the spare car today, and first couple laps on it, and so far so good, so hopefully we can keep it going the right direction.
Cade Dillard, the 97, your winner.
All right, well, I saw you at the second car unloaded, and I believe we are about to go into B-Main action. Up first will be the Winning Edge Carburation X-Mod B-Main 1, and that's where Cade Dillard is headed, to the Winning Edge Carburation Scales after picking up the win in that last heat race of the night for the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. Here's how we're going to roll them around in this one. 14 cars that they all make the call. 10 laps to distance, top 4 move on. On the pole, it's Corey Poland out of Grants, New Mexico in the 25C, and to his outside, the 40D, Blake Adams out of Cameron.